Anyone who has been to the doctor's office recognizes this container and the sample it contains. Now assume that your task is to analyze not only this sample, but several hundred others for various drugs of abuse. Your task is to prepare the sample for analysis by mass spectrometry or ELISA methods. And oh, by the way, one of these samples came from a job applicant for the principal of the local high school. Another sample came from a drug addict in the local jail. Don't mix the samples.
How to automate this process. The sample preparation for mass spec analysis is commonly accomplished in the 96-well format using protein crash, liquid-liquid extraction, or solid phase extraction. ELISA protocols are also run in the 96-well format. How to aliquot a measured volume from the source container to the 96-well plate for processing. A basic problem is the variety of incoming sample containers. If there was a common container used by everyone, a mechanical device could be used. However, the cost of urine screening is very competitive. Processing costs are of great concern. It is very questionable whether a large-scale automation would be cost justified. TomTec, in conjunction with some of our creative customers, can offer a unique solution to the problem. It is both low cost and quick. The incoming barcoded sample is manually poured from the source container to a low-cost 12 by 75 test tube, whose cost is pennies. The barcode is copied and applied to the test tube exterior. This identified sample tube is placed in either a white or black mirror rack. Each mirror rack contains 48 of the 12 by 75 vials on 18 millimeter centers. TomTec's Quadra is then used to transfer from the 12 by 75 vials directly to the 96-well format for sample processing. The Quadra is a 96-well pipetter. 48 of the tips access the white mirror rack, and the other 48 access the black rack. In the process, an exact amount of sample is aliquoted from the poured quantity into the vials to a measured amount for processing in the 96-well plate. The tips on the Quadra have a capacity of 450 microliters. They provide two modes of transfer depending on the processing volume desired. If the volume to be transferred is less than 225 microliters, the Quadra program makes a single pass. Volume is aspirated from the 48 tips that serve the white rack, while the same volume of air is aspirated in the black tips. The Quadra shuttle moves to the black mirror rack. The desired volume is aspirated into the black tips, while the corresponding volume of air is aspirated in the white tips. The Quadra shuttle simply moves to the destination plate, and the contents of all 96 tips, 48 white, 48 black, are dispensed to the processing plate. The tips are shucked, and the process is quickly repeated for the next set of samples. How are the standards and controls put into the pattern? The same way. The standard curve, or the QC samples, can be prepared in bulk and simply poured into 12 by 75 vials, the same as the unknowns. What if you do not have 96 samples to process at one time? You simply fill the mirror racks with the number of samples you want to process. Any of the 96 tips that do not aspirate a liquid volume simply aspirate a volume of air. The same procedure is used the second time to consume any unused processing wells from the first set of samples. To provide sample custody, TomTec has developed the PSID-2. This tracks the barcoded 12 by 75 tube into the 96-well format. The PSID-2 has a touchpad. The barcode of the mirror rack is wanded into the file. Each 12 by 75 tube is wanded into the file and inserted in the mirror rack on the PSID-2. The touchpad logs the vial barcode into the 96-well rack position. Position files are created for both black and white mirror racks. White operating files, WOF, and black operating files, BOF, are created. One of each is then combined into the main operating file. The main operating file, MOF, is identified by the barcode of the final 96-well processing plate. Partial or complete plate files may be created. For processing, the white and black mirror racks are placed on the Quadra shuttle along with the barcoded 96-well destination plate. As each plate moves to the pipetter head, the barcode is appended to the processing file to maintain a positive audit trail. The 96-well destination plate is then processed on the Quadra using one of several sample preparation techniques. A simple protein crash method may be used, a liquid-liquid extraction, or a solid phase extraction. The 450 microliter tips of the Quadra easily handles the reagent volumes that may be required for the method in use. The Quadra provides a unique method of blowing low air pressure through the Quadra tips under program control. This permits going from organic pipetting to aqueous pipetting without having to change tips. This is demonstrated on other Tomtec DVDs. The sample processing protocol is not limited to large volume liquid samples such as urine. By retaining a small conical vial in the 12 by 75 tube with an O-ring, the same barcoded assembly may now be used for small volume samples such as oral fluids. The 12 by 75 tube simply holds the barcode. The Quadra can now reformat small volumes into the 96-well format 48 at a time. Tomtec would appreciate the opportunity to assist you in adapting this low-cost, novel method of transferring your incoming samples into the 96-well format for sample preparation. We'd like to thank you for your time and your interest in our products.